I was a university student and I was playing rugby at a high level. I was All-American and playing various all-star teams on the USA national team, pool and so forth, playing in the Canadian Premiership, based in Seattle, but our team played in the Canadian Premiership. And so I was good. I was very healthy. I was meat centric anyway, but I just ate other things out of sufferance. I took a cancer biology class in university, and we learned day one, this is how plants defend themselves is by being poisonous. Plants are alive. They want to stay alive. They don't want to die. If you eat them, they die. And so they can protect themselves. So if you think about it, all plants are poisonous. It's just that certain animals have evolved the ability to break down certain poisons in specific plants. Right? There's 400,000 plants in the world. Koalas eat one, pandas eat one, cows, horses, other grazing animals, they eat plants, that's it. The other things, they get sick or they die. So, the leaves that a giraffe eats are different from the leaves that a gorilla eats. These are different from the leaves that a deer eats, and so on. You mix those around, they all get sick or die. So we were learning this from a cancer perspective. We learned that Brussels sprouts had 136 known human carcinogens in them. Mushrooms had over 100. Spinach, kale, lettuce, broccoli, celery, cabbage, cucumber. Every plant you've ever eaten, we were given lists that had numbers of the number of known human carcinogens next to them. 60, 80, over 100 known human carcinogens. And they're quite abundant. We've known since the 1980s from work that Professor Bruce Ames did at Berkeley, that the naturally occurring poisons that happen in plants, vegetables like spinach outweigh the pesticides that we spray on them by a factor of 10,000. And that the natural poisons are 1,000 times more likely to cause cancer than the pesticides. Okay, so this was quite revolutionary. We didn't know that. Literally, all of us were looking around, like looking for who was in on the joke. That is like, this has to be a joke. Who knows this? Looking for a TA or something. And we were wildly looking around, and no one was laughing. And I remember thinking in my head at the time, even though I hated vegetables, vegetables are still good for you though, right? And he must have read our mind, because he just looked at us and he just said, I don't eat salad. I don't eat vegetables. I don't let my kids eat vegetables. Plants are trying to kill you. I was like, all right, screw plants. And so I just stopped. And from then on, I went to the grocery store. I was like, okay, what? Everything's a plant. Everything has plants in it. Okay, everything that's there, bread and all the different sorts, obviously vegetables and fruit and so forth. But anything that had been made by someone else was going to have plants in it. And so I was like, well, I guess eggs aren't from a plant. Okay, it's milk, that doesn't come from a plant. And I was like, meat, that doesn't come from a plant. So I just ate eggs, meat, and milk for 3 years. My training went through the roof. I couldn't get tired. I couldn't run out of energy. I couldn't get sore. I would train 8 to 10 hours a day, every day during university. I never wore myself out. I could not wear myself out. And I always said, everything I'm going to do, I'm going to do it 100% every time. And after a couple of weeks, my body just responded. And I got to the point that I could not get tired. And I did this for years. And it was absolutely incredible. I literally felt like a different breed of human. I didn't realize how poorly I felt before until I could see the contrast. I literally felt like a different breed of human because my body was just working so much differently than I had worked in the past as an elite athlete. How does something cause cancer? It causes inflammation, it causes cellular damage, it causes genetic damage, it causes harm. It disrupts your mitochondrial respiration, and that deranges the metabolism of your cell and actually precipitates different mutations. And so these sorts of things are causing harm the entire time. They're causing your cells and tissue to not work properly and healthily. So whether or not you get cancer, you are harming yourself and you're going to feel it. My brother put me onto it. And he said, oh, there's this guy, he played rugby in New Zealand, he's a doctor, and he's saying that you can just eat meat and you don't need to eat anything else. And I was like, and obviously this goes against everything that we were all taught our entire lives, and obviously what I was taught in school and medical school apart from that cancer biology class. And, I remember thinking though, I was just like, well, I mean, I basically did that for 3 years. And so I was just like, all right, well, I'll watch it and let you know if this guy's full of it. And within 5 minutes, it was like, this guy is more red than he knows, but this guy's bang on. And there's a lot more to this. And so I started really digging into the literature and started looking into this, and I started looking at medicine from a perspective of, we as a human animal are carnivores, and things just started slotting into place. And when I approached this from that standpoint, medicine made a lot more sense. Human disease made a lot more sense.